Mahindra is a brand with a modest presence in New Zealand, but it's actually one of India's biggest automotive brands. Now, there's a ton happening from Mahindra over the next 5 years. Some of it's electric, like the XUV 400 that we're going to see in New Zealand before the end of the year. And there's a whole new range of EV SUVs which are based on platforms and technology from Volkswagen's ID models. But for now, in New Zealand, we've got new petrol and diesel SUVs. The XUV 700 we've told you quite a bit about already, but this is the next one. It's the Scorpio 4x4, and the reason I am looking a bit hot and bothered is that we are here at the Mahindra SUV Proving Ground, about an hour and a half out of Chennai, to give it a go. Scorpio is what you might call a 4x4 family adventure vehicle. It's a 7-seat SUV, ladder frame chassis, diesel engine, proper low range for serious off-roading. Think Toyota Fortuner and Ford Everest and you'll get the idea, although this is a bit smaller than those models and a lot cheaper. This is the top specification Z8L model and it's just over 50 grand. So between $10,000 and $20,000 cheaper than those established rivals depending on which way you want to look at it. It actually looks pretty smart inside and out, very much a global model from a brand with increasing export aspirations, so it's designed to appeal to a pretty broad range of buyers. It's built to a relatively simple formula, but it's still a pretty polished drive for this type of vehicle. Certainly not fast off the line, but the 2.2 litre diesel engine and 6-speed auto are smooth, and although we weren't allowed to drive on public roads in India, we did get a spin around the proving ground and the Scorpio was pretty well sorted on the sealed stuff, including 100 km/h emergency lane changes and up to 180 km an hour on the high-speed bowl. There are good electronic traction and anti-roll systems, but no camera-based driver assists like adaptive cruise or lane assist. That stuff is likely to come next year though. Inside there are, shall we say, durable plastics, but again it's all really well laid out and every version has this rich coffee brown, that's what they call it, trim, which adds a bit of visual interest. It's clearly built to a price, but it is a good price. But I've got to say, it's pretty nice back here. The 6-seat models have got these 2 big captain's chairs, definitely makes it feel a bit more special than your average family 4x4. What Mahindra is really proud of is Scorpio's ability in the rough stuff. In fact, it recently set a Guinness World Record for crossing the Simpson Desert in Australia, charging across 385 k's and 1100 sand dunes in 13 hours and 21 minutes. It's a trip that normally takes travellers a week. We didn't do that, but we got stuck into the Proving Ground's tough test course as well as tackling some muddier and less predictable stuff on another day in another location near Pune. The hardware is tough, but there are some clever electronics at play as well, with a terrain management system that covers mud, sand and snow modes. The Scorpio's tow rating of 2.5 tonnes is a little bit down on the competition, but in terms of taking on the rough stuff, it's right up there with the best. There's actually a 2-wheel drive model for 45 grand, but an extra 3k gets the full heavy-duty 4x4 system. Prices go up to 50k for the Z8L 7-seater, or the more luxurious 6-seat version with the captain's chairs, that's the one we see here, is another $1,000.